It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Welcome to Confidence in Bloom, where bold women rise, shine, and own their power. We all face that pesky inner critic, what I call the itty-bitty shitty committee, whispering self-sabotaging doubts and untrue trash talk that holds us back. But here, we don't let that noise win. This is a space to celebrate the fierce, fabulous woman who have broken free from fear, crushed limiting beliefs, and stepped into their full, unstoppable selves. Because let's be real, the most powerful thing any woman can wear is her confidence. I'm Tina Spoletini, your host with the Divas That Care Network, and I bring you real stories of women who reclaimed their voice, embraced their worth, and are lighting the way for all of us. Are you ready to bloom into your best self? Let's dive in. Today, we're diving deep with the incredible Kimberly Jolivet, a seasoned expert in reflexology, astrology, and energy healing. With over 30 years of experience, she helps women decode what their body and soul are trying to say. Kimberly, welcome to Confidence in Bloom.
Hey.
All right, let's get started. So to start us off, let's start with, what does a boss babe summer look like for you this year?
Boss babe summer. Traveling, adventures. Actually, we have committed to being tourists in our own province this year. So a lot of times people, when they live somewhere or they've been there a while, you don't do the same things when you live somewhere a while than if you go visit somewhere. So we actually decided to take a step back, and we are going to do things that are like, oh, that's what tourists do, or avoid it. And we've totally committed to that. And it's been so fun, and we're discovering different things and exploring. So having the freedom to do that, and make that decision for yourself and or your family, that is boss
I
babes.
love that. I know I live in the Rocky Mountains, and the only time I saw them before I was married was when we had visitors from, out of country that came to visit. Right. And then when my husband loves to travel, so he would, let's go to Banff for the day. Right.
Yeah.
And I used to find that so strange, because who does that? Right. But clearly,
there's a lot of things on our plate that we're doing that we would normally avoid. In all fairness, we've gone to Peggy's Cove pretty much every month of the year. It's great in the winter. There's no tourists.
I bet.
So
I've been there
we
once.
decided, like, instead of going to Peggy's Cove, because you can have 6 or 10 busloads of people there and it's really crowded, and we've been there, done that. We've decided that there's hiking trails just off, like, the main tourist attraction, for example, that we haven't done yet. So we're going to go do something we haven't done, and going to explore some of those walking trails around that same area. So
That's
you get
a great idea.
Yeah. So we're totally stoked for it. I don't know. It seems so geeky in a way, and nerdy, but to be able to say I live here and I got to explore all of these things that you wouldn't normally think, it's such an appreciation for the history, the culture, the diversity.
And why can't you enjoy in the beauty of it? I mean, you
Yeah.
live there, right? If you live there, that's part of it, right? That's part of why you chose to be there.
Yeah.
So why not?
I know. We're so excited about it. Yeah. This opens up other places, like, for other summers, but this summer we've decided to hit our own province up. So,
I love that. I think that's awesome. So how do you see like the summer season energetically? Are there certain chakras or themes that it activates for women in particular?
Oh, that's a really, actually, wow. I love that question. Well, I guess for me, and you're talking about chakra centers, when I see the summer season, I think Cancer, Leo, Virgo, right? And the astrologer in me automatically goes to those 3 signs. And with that, in the energy centers within the body, I mean, that is incredibly solar and lunar. So it's like the solar plexus and the heart chakra, because Cancer sits in the heart chakra mainly. I mean, there's other overlap in areas and stuff, but the Leo and Virgo both sit in the solar plexus. And so it's about confidence. It's about bringing out your inner shine, and not just your inner shine. Think of a full moon where the sun completely reflects on the moon itself, and just bringing out that vulnerability. You've put all the work in, and now it's your time to shine. So energetically, it's about literally finding that inner roar.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I'm Cancer. I'm a Cancer, so I get when you said, something about Cancer sits in the heart. I'm like, yeah, I think with my heart, and sometimes that gets me in trouble, right?
Oh, right. I love it though, because it's also a time to connect with the feelings. And those of us who are so in our heads, or people who are so in their heads, and women like that, that it's literally a time your clients stop showing up, not because they don't love you, but because they're on vacation with their family. So I actually see the summer as a dive into the books. I've signed up for education this summer. I'm reading books that I haven't had time to, renegotiating, planning the next, year layout ahead. Like it's a lot of well, really go with the flow kind of stuff, but
Yeah, that's
building up
good.
that power, that confidence to carry you through, let's say, the cold winter months.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we want to be busy when it's cold out. We don't want to be
Mhm.
sitting around waiting, right? I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Now, as a reflexology, tell us what's something that our feet can reveal about how we're showing up or not showing up in our lives.
Mm. I love that you asked that question. It makes me think of one of my clients. She's mid 70s, and she probably has the most perfect feet I've ever seen. Like healthy, everything. And she is adamant. Like she went on vacation with her boyfriend, and they went to a beach, and she was like, we're walking around. It was foggy, so it was chilly, but she said I instantly made us stop and take our shoes off to ground our feet into the beach while they were walking around. And she barefoot gardens, and she's like, I don't know. She takes care of her feet like she takes care of her body. And honestly, I swear this woman is my hero. And I want to
Love
be
that.
her at that stage in life. And what we're not doing for our feet is I see outside feet quite a bit. We don't moisturize them sometimes. And especially I know in the drier climates that feet tend to dry out a little quicker, the same as our body. And to stop and ask, I know a lot of people think applying moisturizer is such a silly thing or a girly thing. But the reality is that is a big bundle of self-care. If you apply moisturizer to your feet or you apply it to your body, you're taking that 5 minutes to acknowledge that the body has merit, that the body exists, that I exist. And it's interesting. I don't know about other people, but I'm weird. Like I'll put lotion on, consciously thinking of I have to take care of the physical, and I'll realize that, hey, I like this part of me, or oh, that's a nice tan, or oh, maybe I should have not had so many cupcakes. um all of those things. But when you stop to listen to your own thoughts when you're doing that, you can actually begin to pay attention what you love and what you maybe need to work on, within your own conscious awareness of your body. So it's not that I ate too many cupcakes, I just got to learn to love me the way I am, right? And so to change that mindset and that mental capacity when you think about yourself. And so your feet can actually give you those secrets. That's where they spill the tea. They can tell you that your body needs moisturizer. They can tell you where you're hurting and when to slow down because they hurt. And once you argue with your feet, the body kind of follows.
Isn't that the truth? And if your feet hurt, everything hurts.
It's
That's
very true. Yeah.
and it's funny that, I mean, growing up, I lived that, right? My feet would always hurt. And then you're like, oh God, my feet hurt. I'm not doing that. Right.
Mhm.
And when you think about it, yeah, everything that's in our bodies ends in our feet.
Yeah.
Right. And so it kind of makes sense. Of course, everything hurts. Everything is tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
It's
that.
so great. So yeah, you put your feet up, and you can watch your favorite show at the end of the day, give your feet a little rub. There's no wrong way to rub your feet, but you give yourself that 5 or 10 minutes on your feet at the end of a day. You'd be surprised how it changes your whole physical and mental outlook when you go the next day.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. So, what mindset shift has helped you level up in your business or your life recently?
Wow, I think I knew you had that question. You know what I find really interesting about that? I was thinking about it. Through the isolation and the loss and the grief, and really being forced inside myself, what's helped me to level up is actually applying my own lessons to my own life. And I'd kind of already been doing that, but I really dove in and sort of shut everything else out and dove into the reflection of who I am, what I wanted, what I desired. And as I came out of it and realizing that I'm in a position now where I don't, well, I do compromise, but I don't compromise me within the compromising with others. And it is okay if what I desire and what the other person desires doesn't line up, because it's okay. Big hug, you go your path, I'll go mine, because the right people will work with you and you'll be able to work with them without having to give up your own morals or beliefs or, your own integrity. And it at first appears to be a little bit lonelier, but I would honestly say it's got a deeper foundation, because the people who I do connect with, we're real with each other. I respect the differences of opinions. Even the differences allow me to grow. I guess essentially erasing that people pleasing.
Yeah. And then you're looking also at, it's quantity over quality,
Mhm.
right? Or
Quality over quantity.
quality over
Yeah.
quantity, right? I mean, you're
Yeah.
looking at, you don't need to have, 10 people around you. What you need are the people that are going to make the most difference in
Right.
your life. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. That's
And
really
and how
awesome.
are they supposed to make me happy? Not that other people's responsibility is to do so, but if I don't know what makes me happy and I don't speak up, like it's not on somebody else to guess my needs.
Exactly. Now, yeah, you're right. I mean, we don't need to what's the word I'm looking for? Like nobody else is going to make you happy. But
Mhm.
in order for you to be happy, you need to have the right people around you,
Mhm.
right? I mean, as humans, we need connection.
We
And
do.
who we connect with is what matters.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the way I see it. Yeah. Cuz I mean, as a parent, we're always telling our kids what will make you happy, right? In
Yeah.
one way or another. And like I have a daughter who's, looking for her life partner, and I'm like, she's like, when am I ever going to find someone who makes me happy? Well, first you need to make yourself happy,
Mhm.
right? That
Yeah.
person has to add to that happiness. He's not going to create that happiness,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know that at 23 we understand that, right? I
And
think,
I don't think we were ever taught in our generation,
yeah, well,
because
exactly.
yeah, we were always taught that if we did good, our parents were happy. And so
Right.
if we did what they wanted and they were happy, we then were rewarded with our own time or to go do our own thing or the sleepover we really wanted. Do you know what I mean? So
Yes.
we learned not how to be functioning adults, but how to be people who learn to please the room around us. So as long as everybody else is happy, then therefore I can then carve out what I need for myself.
Yeah. It's
And
so true.
yeah, and my son is so different because he does these crazy things, and I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm raising him not to compromise his peace for other people. I'm like, damn, I wish I
You
had
can't
that
have it both
confidence.
ways, right? You can't. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so it's like
Yep.
it's an inner struggle, because I'm watching him and I'm like, man, I want to be that now as a fully grown adult. And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm raising him to say, I need this. This makes me happy. This is where my peace sits, and to
Yeah.
not sacrifice himself. So, these tools do really work. And so
Is
yeah,
it hard to watch when they're kids, right? When you know that they're just making an ass out of themselves, right?
yeah,
And you're looking at them going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm allowing this," right? Then it's a personal thing, right? But
yes.
at the same time, they're growing from it,
And they're so
right?
happy.
Yeah.
And they
And
don't have regrets. Like even disagreements he has with his friends, the beauty of it is there's no regrets in it.
yeah, I love
He knows
that.
who he is. His friends know who they are, and they're like, "Okay, we had an argument. All right, we need 2 days." And they take 2 days, and they come back. They're like, "Hey, how you doing?"
That's good. Well, that's the way it should be. But I
Yeah.
will say, boys are different, right?
Yes.
Girls,
Yes.
unfortunately, us women, we
Extra
hold
that.
on to stuff that we should not, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where when I say, elevating and going beyond, or however you worded it was so much nicer. Raising the vibration within the business. Um, Half of that was just letting it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Letting it go,
exactly.
because
Exactly.
most of it didn't matter. And part of my story is that the work I'm doing now with the Tree of Life, and the fact that I've been able to have workbooks and all my new presentations and the tarot card deck that's currently in development that aligns with all of this. I literally found all that material when I moved in with my new partner, thinking, oh, I need to make some space for him in a closet, right? And I went through my notes over the last 20 years and realized I had the entire program already built on various times over the years. So by letting go of some space, I actually discovered this entire theme for what I do and how I help people
I
already.
love that.
Yeah.
I love
So
that was my next question. What is one recent mistake or learning moment,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
That actually moved you forward. And look at that. Just, I mean, I don't know that that's a learning moment for sure, right?
it was a
Well,
learning moment
I'm
because I
holding
didn't.
on to all this crap,
Yeah.
right? Now I need to move it. Now what do I do? Right.
Yeah.
And you created a new program and, you're probably going to, create something even bigger and better, in the coming year because you have all the information right in front of you.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And it was that discovery, finding that cornerstone of it to be able to move forward with it. And so it was really, if you ever doubt yourself, and this is a lot of times I talk to people, it's like we already have all the information in us. And the reason we share our stories is because our story is our survival story is how-to manual for someone else. And if we don't share how we did it, then that person might not have the tools to make it through.
Right.
And everybody's is different. And so I had just accumulated my knowledge over the years, and I knew I wanted to blend the astrology, reflexology, and of course the energy work, but I was lost as to how. But when I found all these pieces, it's it became clear to me. And so now, yeah, the feet tell you the story about their body. Like they spill the tea. They tell me secrets. You can tell me all you want on your health form, but your feet are still going to tell me what's really going on. And your chart to me is just your guidance system that you brought with you for this lifetime. So why don't we check in with your personal guidance system and check in with what the body's telling you and then elevate your energy so that you can step through your chakras your way. So how I vibrate through the heart might not be how you vibrate through the heart, but why are
Right.
we going to do it the same way? Because we're very different people.
Yeah, I love that. So I have a question on that. So I
Yeah.
love how you said that your feet tell me, your feet tell me what's going on in your body. So
Yeah.
I go for reflexology now very like regularly,
Yeah.
consistently. And she has been telling me that, yeah, she said, I can tell there's things going on, in this part of your body. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mhm.
Like I still don't get it. Like I get that, this is the kidney, this like I get all that part, but she said that, she called it I forget the word, but there's like little it's like bumpy in certain
Yeah.
areas and I'm like, what? Like bumpy? Like
Yeah.
when I touch my feet, they're smooth, right? I mean, sure they're a little bit on the dry side. It's summertime, right? But they're
Yeah.
they're smooth. There's no bumps in there. And she's like, "Oh yes, it's gritty." And I'm like,
Yeah. It's
I don't
it's
even
like
want to know. Just fix
there's
it.
gritty, there's grainy, there's grapey. There's all these different words. And it's so neat because I can go over the same part of a foot for one client and it's I don't know, it's kind of like not sandpaper, but you know when you run your finger over sandpaper, you feel those the bumps, right? So you
Yes.
kind of feel that. And then another one you can actually feel like they're big rocks in there. And
Wow.
with the training, and this is why it's different, like there's no wrong way to rub a foot. So you get somebody's foot and you give them a nice little rub and the body feels better. But what makes us different than somebody who just rubs your foot, for example, is we're actually trained to pay attention to the variations. I even look when I push on a client's foot, what color is under my thumb when I push on it. Like because the
Oh.
color it turns behind my thumb is also another detail. Now, because of what I do, whether I incorporate the astrology or not, but most of my clients are starting to incorporate it, is there are certain areas that there's certain emotional, if something's going on in the kidneys, random example, just picking something out of the hat. I think because you said kidneys. I also talk to them about frustrations, resentment, connections with others. What are they not filtering out? Are you breathing in and not breathing out? Because if we're not letting it out, you're storing it in your body somewhere. So we start the emotional conversations. And one client, we got just asking these questions and just what was showing up on her feet. It turned out that she didn't trust herself because the last relationship she had hurt her really badly, that she was even afraid to make a friend because it wasn't that people were bad, it was that she's afraid of making the wrong decisions.
Oh my goodness.
That just comes out from the
Her feet,
conversations,
her
right?
feet
And I
told
did
you.
have her chart, so I was like, there's a little bit there. I knew the questions to ask, but knowing the questions to ask and talking to the clients during this, it's not just the feet and releasing what's going on in the physical. It's allowing the client to push on that emotional point and drop away from those emotions that they're holding in their body. Because you see, if you filter out resentment, like your kidneys filter out the urine, right? The toxicities in our body that we eliminate, we filter out that same emotion in the same way. Our kidneys aren't working double time anymore.
My God, our bodies are so amazing.
They are
Honestly,
amazing.
like,
What about neck pain? How many times do you see people carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders and they're hunched over and their neck hurts,
yeah,
right? I see
yeah,
that a lot too.
yeah.
So it's about getting the pain off the neck. So it's not always just physical, but the physical body is a container. So think of a glass or a cup, right? You can only put so much liquid or energy into that container.
Yeah, yeah.
And so our bodies, your body and my
Are
body,
no
are
different.
different. Yeah. So we just have to adjust the energy or the emotion to fit the container and let go what doesn't need to be held on.
Wow. That's just amazing. It's like, I mean, we can talk about this forever, but I want to talk about summer, right? I want to talk about what's going on in this summer. So
Mhm.
let's see. Let me know if there's, is there something that you're doing, like a move of some kind, that's going to be over the summer, that's going to set you up for like the fall, so that you can go
Um,
into the fall strong and hard.
Yes, it's odd. These last couple of weeks, I've put on a couple presentations for Uranus and Gemini because it's a new 8-year cycle astrologically. And of course, social media is going to pop up over the next few weeks with Mercury going retrograde. Oh, I love always the dreaded, dreaded. But I'm excited because with this energy, what it means is that we're being allowed to internalize these new ideas coming to the surface. So when you ask, what am I doing? Well, I am doing it. I am jumping in feet first without thinking and just sort of stirring up my own pot. And with that, like diving deep into completing the creation of the artwork for the tarot cards that I have going on, and being a tarot card reader on top of everything, even though I don't announce it in my services, I've done it for years. These cards are in alignment with the work that I'm developing. So by the time I have a printed copy, which I'm hoping is this fall, the card can be used like a regular tarot deck. Oh, let's pull your cards for fun. But I also have in the works a companion guide with it. And so these cards are, you can pull a card and then there's all of this work you could do with that particular card that you pull up. So it's got questions, it's got the body questions, the emotional questions, the mental questions, spiritual questions to help you really uncover who you are. So building that is what I'm doing this summer. So, I mean, it
Oh, I
looks,
love that.
there's a lot of behind the scenes. Of course, the layout for the book that goes with all of this is going on this summer. Plus, I've taken medical astrology classes over the summer to enhance the medical connection between the body and the chart as well. So there isn't one thing I'm not doing that really isn't towards elevating or raising that vibration with what I'm doing, because my belief is the more you know yourself uniquely, individually you, the better you become. And it's like shedding all these layers, these masks that we wear, especially women. Over the generations that I work on, they start to peel back the mask and then they don't know who they are. But this allows you to know who you are, being in the best body you're ever in. And I know we're told that, oh, by 50 it's all downhill from there, and I'm seeing people removing the masks. There's no weight, right? They're
Well,
taking
and I think
it.
that part of that
Yes.
is we have it in our heads that, once you've grown your kids, you've done, your purpose in life,
Hmm.
right? Life comes to an end. But the truth is, I mean, that's only like a chapter of your life. It's a big
Hmm.
part of your life for sure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, your kids are part of your life forever, I hope, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, that's my hope with my kids, right? But once they've moved on to their own life, now you get to be free again, right?
Yeah.
With that, like they're just, like I don't want to say tag along because that sounds almost like negative, but they're just an addition to,
They're in
you know,
addition to your
the
happiness.
rest of your
Yeah.
life. Yeah, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so it's imagining and working through the stages where, and with what I've taught over the years, is you come first, your partner is two, and then everybody else is third. And the reason behind that, why I don't say put kids first, is because for everybody who does put their children absolutely first, they are depleted, they are run out. When the kids move out, they don't know who they are or what they're going to do. And that's most of the time when illnesses really do begin to settle. into the body. Can you imagine being so okay with your own happiness, who you are, secure in your relationship, loving your kids up, living your best life, that when they leave, it becomes a new part of the story rather than something you're losing?
Absolutely. And you know that book, I haven't read it really, but that The Body Keeps the Score.
Hmm.
You know, that's a lot to do with that, right? When you
Yeah.
put so much of your attention and your love. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, good parents shouldn't be good parents, right? But when you put everything you have into your kids, when they decide that they need to be independent and on their own, you won't be able to accept that, right? Because you won't want to let go of that, right?
Right.
I mean, I did witness a little bit of that myself. You know, when my twins started driving, I was like, oh my God, now what do I do?
Hmm.
You know, everything I did, every reason I got out of bed in the morning was because of them. And
Yeah.
now they're telling me they don't need me to drive them anywhere. I was done, right?
Yeah.
It's taken me a long time to, you know, be in that position that you were just
Yeah.
explaining, right?
Yeah.
Where, you know, like they're now just, you know, they're an addition to my life. They're not my life anymore, right?
Right.
Part of me has regret for that because of this, right? But then I think, you know, everything I did for them, and they are the people
Oh,
they are because of that,
100%. Like,
right?
this isn't
Yeah,
about saying anyone did it right or wrong, or wherever you're at in your own journey is okay. But
just
learning
prepare,
to do it right.
right?
And
Yeah,
you know, the biggest thing I have is, like, I was like that right from the get-go with my son because I was terrified of being a parent. It was not a goal I ever had, right? So I always made sure I was taken care of. And now I have a son who has watched me say my needs are important. Well, little Mr. Confident over there is 11 and a half years old now. He lets me know what his needs are. And it's like, you want to be mad, but at the same time, you're like, no, I have to have full respect for that because you know what, you're right. You have every right to fight and be an advocate for what you need.
exactly,
So,
exactly.
okay, fair enough. Your needs, my needs on the table. Where are the common needs? We take care of those first easily. And then after that, we make sure that everybody's needs are met.
Our men, yeah.
But how would I know what his needs were? And I sit there, and one of the things that catches me off guard with this is that when I was growing up, I didn't even know what needs were.
And whoever like thought about what do you need,
Right.
right? It
Yeah.
was
And as
you
an
need
adult, I
this,
still
yeah,
struggle
yeah,
saying that, okay,
yeah,
I kind of need this, right?
yeah,
Because
absolutely,
it is such a flow and a learning flow, and we do it together, we actually have really uncomfortable conversation. Let's put that in quotes, uncomfortable conversations, because we have a safe space together to discuss.
that's how it should be. I
Yeah.
remember hearing from my mom, you know, you ask too many questions, right? To my kids.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking, how the hell am I supposed to know what they need, what they want, and what they're thinking if I
Yeah.
don't ask questions? Because she didn't give
Yeah.
me options. She said, you need this, you're going to do this. And that was it, right? And
Yeah.
so I just went with that. But when I had kids, I'm like, I didn't want that. I didn't want that for them, right? I wanted them
Yeah.
to think for themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize the difference until she would point out to me, you asked too many questions.
Yeah. And that's okay because there's no wrong way. It's each generation before us. Like our grandmothers, for example, only did what they knew. Right.
Exactly.
And then our
Exactly.
moms only did what they knew. And then we're only doing what we knew. It sort of seems to be there's a shift that, okay, we're learning things a little bit differently. So we're trying to take what we were raised as. So, all of our parameters now and our, oh, we should do this or should do that. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of the word should as it is, right? But it comes up from that. And I'm trying to change the narrative so that my son has a different story. Am I
Right.
perfect? Oh, good God, no. Have I told my kid he's in my face and he needs to, maybe get out of my room and not so many nice words because he's interfering with my time? Yeah, I've done that a lot and I've been told it's not good to say. And I'm like, dude, I'm 24/7 with this kid. I mean, we homeschool together. We're together all the time. Me needing 20 minutes in my room
Oh,
without his face is important for
yeah.
both of
And
us.
sometimes he doesn't understand when I say it nicely. I totally get that. I totally
Yeah,
get that.
so what that is, though, is because I'm not okay. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stimulated. Maybe I'm dealing with things he doesn't realize. I've got my own work, his lesson plans, daily life, all of this stuff. And maybe I'm overwhelmed and I don't know how to express it to him. But by taking 20 minutes to myself, relaxing, coming down, I become okay. And when I'm okay, I'm happier with him.
Right.
So taking 20 minutes and kicking him out of my room and just go away, right, is actually a very much a preservative for me because I can change my behavior in that time to myself. And then we go about our day a lot happier.
100%. And I
Right?
totally get that. And
Yeah.
no mother is going to disagree with you. We all need that space.
We all need that space. I've
Yeah.
just learned to take it, right?
Yeah.
Because, he might need, or no, actually, I should really rephrase that. If he needed something from me, okay, a true need, of course I'm going to be there. Like,
Of
this is not what I'm saying. But normally his needs are he wants me to get something for him, or he wants, like, it's his wants. So teaching him the difference between want and need is really important as well.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
that.
I mean, even us grown-ups, there's sometimes where we don't know the difference,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
100%.
I totally
So,
get
yeah.
that.
So
So
yeah. So
let's go back to summer here. What is
yeah.
one thing that you might be intentionally saying no to, um, just with the intention of making space for growth for the next year?
Oh, intentionally saying no to. Um, that's really interesting. One of the first things I want to say is clients in a way, because in the summer I very specifically make sure to take days off, right? So we can do summer activities. So I do say no to the clients to be better prepared. Now, I don't say no, don't come see me. What I say is these days I'm not available.
Right.
Right. I'm also saying no to invites and I'm going to say networking events as well, and personal invites, and of course, professional invites that do not align with where I want to be. I'm getting very intentional on that, especially this summer, but a lot of summers I will because I want to, when fall picks up again and starts to get busy and things happen, I want to know where I stand because if I know where I stand um, with putting my energy out into things, then it's very easy to align with that and go to where you need to go. So yeah, I'm saying no to a few things over the summer.
Yeah,
Just
I love that. And the thing is, everybody is like, summer's the party season, it's the fun season, right?
Mhm.
So even though those events are still happening, right? If there's something you'd rather be doing, sometimes, it's better for your mental health
Mhm.
alone, to say, no, I can't today, right? I need to be, sitting on the deck with, some tea or a
Yeah,
glass of wine or whatever it's going to be, right?
right.
Just so that you can go the next day or whenever it is you're going into work the next time, you can go in full,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's absolutely that. Like it has to align. Again, it has to not disturb my peace. And that's how I look at a lot of what I say yes or no to. And if something even makes me feel a little bit anxious, and this isn't about, oh, I'm scared, I'm not gonna push past my bubble, right? No, no, I'm
No.
things that push past my bubble, but this is more of it doesn't feel right inside. And so I am saying no to anything that is trying to override my own intuition.
Right. Good for you. And that's it has to align with your true goals,
Yeah,
right? I mean that's at the end of it. So let's
absolutely.
fast forward to the end of summer, which, I'm sure where you are, because here every summer flies by, right? It's like a blink of an eye, and oh my gosh, it's, back to school
Right.
already.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward to the end of this summer, and what would you say can make you say, yes, I leveled up this year?
Oh, it's interesting. I think if starting to see communication again, just with all I went through with losing Facebook and moving and all of that stuff, it's almost as though the people I used to interact with, they're just gone. I used to have a very active and very full like social media and events that I'd host online or in person. They would be like decent numbers show up. And I think for me, that would say yes, is that if to start seeing that conversation happening again, to see people wanting to interact because I love sharing about what I do, and I love helping people to get more involved with their own healing and themselves. And this work is taking along the way that people can actually become advocates for their own body in the medical doctor's office, knowing the right two questions to ask to maximize your time. This is what this work leads you to. And
Wow.
so I love that, right? And so being able to have those conversations. And for me, it's not even about having, a million clients and all of them paying, because money, believe it or not, I think money is a side effect of working, not the goal. And so, yeah, for me, what would make me feel like I've leveled up would be seeing those conversations surface.
Right on. I love that. I love that. I feel the same. Like, yes, we need money. We all need money, right?
Mhm.
But that doesn't necessarily have to be what you're working for.
Right.
Right. Like, I feel like, well, I know myself personally, I guess I can't really speak for anyone else, but for me, yes, I need the money, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I need to still feed the family. I still need to,
Mhm.
pay the bills and everything. But for me, it's more about who can I help? Like, I
Yeah.
want to help women,
Yeah.
right? So many of us are going through the day, like kind of dragging our feet, moaning and groaning, thinking this is the best life gets, right?
Right.
To me, I'm like, why does it have to be that way? Right? Why
Mhm.
do we have to think that, we've done, like, the exciting part of our life is over now? Right? Why can't this be the exciting part of our life?
Yeah.
Right? Now I get to have my children as my friends, right? Because they're adults now. So why
Yeah.
can't I enjoy that? Why do
Yeah.
I have to look at my kids and go, my God, look at what they're doing with their life? Right?
Mhm.
No, you raised them the best you could. Now you get to sit back and watch them, make that fruitful, right?
Yes.
Whatever that is, right?
Whatever
That's
that
that,
is.
yeah, yeah. So for me, that's what, when I go into work in the morning, that's my purpose, right? Like, let's make this the best life we can. I know that that's a little bit cliche now. I remember hearing back in, I think it was probably the 90s, Oprah Winfrey started, living your best life, and, everyone's sort of been on that route to, make it your
Yeah.
best life. But the truth is, I think everyone has been working towards their best life, whether they know
Well,
it or
yeah.
they don't.
Whether
Right?
they know it or not. And the thing is that my best life might not look like what the Joneses are setting out across the street. And I find that a lot of my confidence tends to come from the fact that I don't compare myself to that. Is that what they want? Of course. It's good for them. But if I go for that, that's not what I want. And
No.
so it's like comparing apples and steaks.
Yes.
It's not even apples and oranges,
Right.
because they're entirely different categories altogether.
Well, we're all different, right? Like,
We
every single
are.
one of us. Yeah.
We are. So it's learning to accept those differences in people, and leveling up too is being able to look at someone and know that you would never live the life they live, but still being happy that they found their happiness.
Yeah.
Right. And
Absolutely.
that's what for me I really truly work on. And so that's where I go inward and consciously make the decision. Does this make me happy? Now here's a funny thing. Does it make me happy right now? Like, it's a funny example. First cup of coffee, first sip of the first cup of coffee. Oh yeah, that makes me happy. And I enjoy that moment. I even take like, ceremonious a little, like I'll be ceremonious about the first cup of coffee. Now, if I make a second pot and have three more cups out of the second pot, I'm not enjoying that last cup as much. And I really need to double check some. And I don't do this all the time, but there are some days, right? But I have to sit there and go, does this make me happy right now? And it's like, no, it's just something trying to juice up that happy feeling, and checking in right there saying maybe not the second pot, find something else to
Yes.
bring that, right? And so that's what it is that, you know, I know women who buy shoes, like to the point I'm like, I swear their closet is a shoe store. And that's okay, because if that's what makes them happy, good. But to me, I own one flip-flops, one runners, and I'm like, you need more than that? Because I don't even want to wear those half the time.
Exactly. Isn't that the
Right?
truth?
And
Yeah.
it doesn't make me less than. And I share this because just because you like something different than people you know or others around you does not make you less than.
No.
Right?
And the thing is, liking what everybody else likes just makes you another, like, form of a robot, right?
Yeah.
Like, be
Yeah.
your own person, be like,
Mhm.
explore, like, be your uniqueness, be your
Yes.
own uniqueness. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And that's why I love, because I mean, for me, leveling up is when I watch clients level up, when I watch them find their aha moment, when that light bulb turns on and they start really moving towards things that bring them joy, or making huge life changes and transformational changes that allow them to incorporate everything of who they are while peeling away the mask. That brings me more joy, than I would say even any paycheck ever could.
Yeah, I have to agree. I love that too. So now the next few questions that I have here are going to be very quick.
Okay.
So what is your
Wait.
morning routine in 3 words?
Get up, make sandwiches, and sit at my desk.
Love it. And
Yeah.
who is your boss babe role model?
Oh my gosh, do I have to narrow it down? Um, I can actually. Here's a couple. One, in the astrological world, she passed away a few years ago. She was in her early 90s. Literally was working away at her desk with more astrology research, and she passed. That is my goal. I would love to work until I cannot work no more, and that would be my happy place. And the other one, oddly enough, it's Britney Spears.
Wow.
I've been watching her, as most of us have publicly, most of our lives. I think she's in and around the same age range as I am. And I've seen her chart. And always when you learn with astrology, you're supposed to pick somebody's chart and follow their life. And I have to admit, the finesse that she's pulled off with everything she's experienced, thinking of all the weights and the emotions and the traumas that she's been through, the reality is I couldn't have done it as good as she did without people watching me. And
Yeah.
that's the difference, because you carry the weight of the world watching you while still going through that.
Yeah.
Was she perfect? No. Could she have done things better? Probably. But then again, so could I. So could
Right.
anyone. Yeah.
She is just another human. That is
Yeah.
one thing. I've never idolized any celebrity of any kind. I mean, yes, I
Yeah.
have my favorites for sure, but
Yeah.
I also aim to see them as humans, because at the end of the day, they
Mhm.
came into this earth the same way the rest of us did, right?
Right.
They're going to leave the way the rest of us did,
Yeah.
right? So, or the rest of us will, right? And so to me, they're just humans and they just live a different kind of life, right?
They do.
Yeah.
But she never gave up on her passion. And she
Good for her.
fought for what she wanted. And looking at back over her history and the music she was forced to do versus what she wanted to do, and watching as she broke free from it, you could almost see her pendulum swing. And where she sits now, it's like, oh, the stories she would have. She's lived life, right? And that's
Yeah,
the thing to me. It's like, yeah, I've lived. My story is
right.
a bit wonky, but I have lived, and I didn't have to do it with the whole world watching. And
Right. That is so true. I've never really thought of it like that. Well, I got 2 more questions, but what is, if you have a word of the summer, one word for the summer?
Rewire.
Ooh, I like that. I like that word. If you could tell your younger self one thing before launching your business, what would it be?
Stop listening to everybody else.
You should all take that
I think
advice.
all the paths I went down that never worked were things like, you should do this, or go this way, or this is what you need to do. No, just trust. You had all the right answers.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, so if anybody wants to understand their own hidden messages a little more deeply, where can they connect with you?
They can connect with me through my website, because my reflexology, astrology, and energy work is all combined and can be done online. So I don't even need to touch your feet to work with the reflexology. So basically, the website would be the best, but I am on all the socials as well.
Awesome. And I will be adding those all onto the social, or the show notes at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Kimberly. I know, like, the whole reflexology alone is a conversation for me. I think that it's amazing, but I would like to know more about astrology. So I think we'll have to chat a little bit more about that, because I know the last time I had you on the show, I'm like, I really don't know a whole lot. I don't even know if I want to know, but now I want to know. Like, I I've seen a little bit more over the past year or however long it's been since we chatted last. And so now I'm a little bit intrigued. I don't know that I believe all of it, but I'm intrigued by what it can tell you. So
yeah. And that's why I use it in a way that it brings it into the physical body. It has been over 20 years since you've seen me at a psychic fair or anything. I really try to use astrology in day-to-day language, how you could apply it to what's in front of you. And it's not something, I don't use it as a predictive tool, not even. It's something that it helps you get to know yourself and understand who you are so you make the best choices for yourself.
Right.
And understand that this is why this feels better for me. And of course, now the body stuff, right? Like, might as well.
Right, of course. Like you put it all together and it's like, oh my gosh, I love this. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening to Confidence in Bloom, where we celebrate the amazing, brilliant, and beautiful woman you already are. You don't have to look like a movie star or supermodel, and spoiler, they don't even look like that. You are enough, worthy of unconditional love, especially from yourself. We pour love out to everyone around us, so it's time to give that same love to you. If you're ready to step into your power and boost your confidence, I'm offering personalized coaching, 3 focused sessions designed to help you build your confidence, define your personal brand, and start creating your own signature style. Remember, she comes in every shape and size, and the most important thing to believe in, yourself. Want to be a guest here on Confidence in Bloom? Reach out to me on Instagram at infobloomstyling, email tina@infobloomstyling.com, or visit the Divas That Care Network website. Until next time, keep blooming confidently.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.